without exaggerating here, and I'm sure you'll agree, you've literally spoken to some of the smartest, most interesting, and most unique thinkers on the planet, right? So as you've just reached 300 episodes, 300 conversations, taking everything you've learned, and by the way, you can make this answer as long as you want. Imagine that you're writing your own book. You're an author now. What are the chapters that need to be in there? What are the lessons you've learned from those 300 people that you now live with and that you need to give to other people?
What a question. Right, okay, this is a magnum opus. If I was to write a book right now, I think it would be advising people to deprogram the things that they don't actually want from their life. And some of the principles that they would need to get past with that. One chapter would be called, Don't Practice What You Do Not Want to Become. It's a Jordan Peterson quote. You do not have the choice around whether or not you make a habit. You simply get to choose what habit you make. So if you decide to hit the snooze button, that's not just not getting up early, that's choosing to get up late. That's embedding the habit of being a person that gets up late. Don't practice what you do not want to become. That would be one of them. Life is dissatisfaction is another one. Life is unsatisfactoriness, actually, would be the technically correct thing. So the Buddha said, life is suffering, but the suffering word, dukkha, D-U-K-K-H-A, has been contested by some scholars as actually being unsatisfactoriness. What does that mean? It means that you are always going to be chasing something. You're always going to be looking for that thing that's next, that's going to fill the hole, and that thing will never come, ever. It's not the new relationship, it's not the next kid, it's not the bigger house, it's not even the growth-minded book completion insight about the world, because every insight that you get just leads you to wanting more. It's constantly chasing the rabbit of productivity gains or of money gains. It doesn't just need to be the hedonic treadmill, it can simply be the growth treadmill. And realizing that that's not a feature, that's not a bug, it's a feature. Life is unsatisfactoriness is a feature, not a bug. It's always going to be there. What else would I put in? I would say question your assumptions around things as well. A lot of the time in 2021, it's a meritocracy. People are what they do. And we're so busy that we very rarely get the opportunity to actually assess what we're doing. What did we say about making changes and plans? If this is for the rest of your life and you're about to choose the trajectory that you're going to go on, you'd better fucking get it right. Like, you'd better choose the right direction. So assessing your assumptions means, do I actually believe that I should be going out and getting drunk every weekend? Do I actually believe that it doesn't matter if I cheat on my girlfriend because the relationship's not going to go anywhere anyway? Do I, and so on and so on. Just continue to assess the assumptions that you've got. The more that I sit back and do that and question, is there an easier way for me to do this? Is there a better way for me to do this? Do I even need to do this? These things are important. I would say that fame doesn't matter, but is still useful. And that's quite an embarrassing thing for some people to admit, because accepting that you want fame makes you sound a bit uncouth, makes you sound sort of a bit primal and showy. But let me tell you, like, some of the most useful things that have happened in my life have been due to the fact that people know me. It is never going to get boring or dull being walked to the front of a queue and put through a velvet rope. In wherever it is, whatever it is that you do. And I can go probably most of the continents on the planet now, and there'll be someone there that owes me a favor in one kind or another. That's a good position to be in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about the fame. You can get the fame, but know that it doesn't have to be about the fame. And the same thing's true with money. Tim O'Reilly from O'Reilly Media has this amazing quote where he says, money is like gasoline on a road trip. You need to make sure that you don't run out of gas, but you're not doing a tour of gas stations either. If all that you do is spend your life mindlessly accumulating wealth, you're not going to get anywhere. You need enough wealth to make sure that you're not going to break down, and you need to never be out of the game. Like, how much is enough? How much is enough, really? Genuine question. Like, is £1 million or $1 million enough? I don't see a world in which I'm going to have £1 million or $1 million and think like, oh yeah, but I wish it was 5. Why? So, deprogramming some of that, and then definitely one of the final chapters, or one of the first chapters probably, would be working out what do you want to want. This is a red pill I got from Kyle Eschenroder, who's been on the show, episode 189, anyone that wants to listen to it on Modern Wisdom. Amazing guy, fantastic blog post. A lot of the time, the things that we think that we want aren't true. We think we want fame or money or an easy life or luxury or whatever it might be. And when we actually assess those assumptions, we realize that we don't care. We don't want that. It's just what other people want, or it's what my parents told me that I was supposed to want, or it's what my genetic programming wants me to do, or it's what the paths of least resistance are. Do you want to spend tonight on Netflix? Well, it feels like you do. But do you actually want to spend the night watching Netflix, or would you prefer going to that open mic comedy club with a couple of mates? Because tomorrow you're not going to remember what you even watched on Netflix, and it's just going to be like a million other nights that you've spent. But you might actually really enjoy the comedy club, even if it's a bit shit. Even if the comedians suck, you're going to have these memories about that night that we went to that open mic night and it was totally terrible, mate. Like, this is assessing assumptions. This is working out what you truly want to want. I mean, the number of lessons that I've got from the show are essentially endless, and will be for as long as I don't get kicked off Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So I'll continue to grow like that, but those are certainly some of the big ones. I would maybe say 2 lessons that I learned from Aubrey Marcus that really hit me in the chest were: you do not serve other people from your cup, you serve them from the saucer which overflows around your cup. And what you learn from that is that in order to serve, you need to be fit for service. If you want to be able to bear a burden, if you want to be able to lift a weight, if you want to be an impressive human that helps other people, you need to be all that you can be before you can help everybody else. In an aircraft malfunction, the instruction is you put your mask on first before you help other people, because a person that's suffocating is of little use to everybody around them. And there are people out there who need you. There are people out there who want what only you can give them because only you can. As brilliant as he was, Da Vinci didn't do Dali, and Michelangelo didn't do Dali. Anything other than the absolute truest manifestation of Dali's being would have left the world fundamentally less. The likelihood of you being alive is essentially 0. It's 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000, which is more particles than every particle in the universe if each particle was another universe. That's how big that number is. It's astronomically, ridiculously big. And if you choose to not do the thing which this insanely unlikely series of events has caused you to exist to do, the world will be fundamentally less complex and beautiful, because you are not enacting what only you can. So if you allow status games or social norms or internal fears to curb your weirdness, you're not giving the universe what you can. This isn't some esoteric, ephemeral, wishy-washy New Age bullshit. This is how it works. If you do what everyone else does, you get what everyone else has got, but you deliver what everyone else delivers. I don't need 7.7 billion people all trying to race to the middle of the distribution of the mean. I want 7.7 billion people all doing what only they can, because that's the way that you get the richest world. That's the way that you get the vastest access to human potential. And if you think, okay, I want to do something that really makes a difference, do what only you can. Don't allow yourself to compromise because of social norms or internal fears. Don't allow yourself to be pulled away by the conception that you have around what you should and shouldn't do. Just do what you're supposed to do. Do what you want to do. If you go after that, I think you'll probably end up in a pretty good place.